Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're exploring a sound that's instantly recognizable all over the globe, samba. Now, when I say samba, you're probably picturing vibrant colors, massive parades, and high-energy party music, right? But the true story we're unpacking today goes so much deeper than that. As you'll see, samba is actually a profound story of survival, cultural resilience, and human connection. It's a journey that is every bit as emotionally powerful as the music itself.
So we have to ask, how exactly did a rhythm that was marginalized, literally pushed to the very edges of society, become the heartbeat of an entire nation? It's a fascinating mystery. We're going to trace a path that starts in unimaginable hardship and ultimately leads to one of the most joyous global celebrations of culture in human history. Let's follow the rhythm and find out how this incredible transformation happened.
Section 1. The Heartbeat of Brazil. A blend of three cultures. Simply put, samba was born from a really rich foundational blending of African traditions, indigenous influences, and Portuguese culture.
Section 2. Roots of Resistance and Transatlantic Origins. Okay, let's dive into this.
To truly understand samba, we really have to look respectfully at its origins during the transatlantic slave trade. It's a history marked by deep tragedy and suffering, and it is the crucible in which this rhythm was formed. Despite facing absolutely unimaginable hardship and deliberate attempts to erase their cultures, these enslaved communities held on. Rhythm served as both memory and resistance. They used music, dance, and gatherings to preserve their cultural traditions. It wasn't just a sound, it was a profound act of remembering exactly who they were and a powerful form of resistance against erasure.
Let's track how this rhythm evolved across the centuries. It begins in the 1500s with the horrific realities of the transatlantic slave trade. But by the early 1800s, up in the northeastern Brazilian state of Bahia, those foundational African drumming traditions began mixing with local customs. This is really where the earliest foundations of samba are set. Then, jumping to the late 1800s, spurred largely by the abolition of slavery in Brazil in 1888, we see a massive migration. Afro-Brazilian communities started moving southward down to Rio de Janeiro. Finally, in the early 1900s, the music really takes on a new life, evolving in the city's working-class neighborhoods and favelas.
Section 3. Migration to Rio. Marginalized beginnings. And this brilliantly illustrates how Afro-Brazilian communities brought the music directly into the fabric of Rio's working-class neighborhoods.
When those communities brought their rhythms into late 19th century Rio, they were completely marginalized by the establishment. At times participating in early samba was literally criminalized because of its strong African roots. Yet, fast forward to today, and it's fully embraced as the celebratory spirit of Brazil itself. How did it survive all that early suppression? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It persisted because it belonged to the people. It echoed through living rooms, private backyard celebrations, and community gatherings, slowly but surely capturing the very spirit of the country.
Section 4. The Anatomy of Rhythm. Building the beat. Now that we've got the history down, let's actually feel the heartbeat of this music.
The magic of samba comes from combining some incredibly specific traditional instruments. It's kind of like a giant puzzle coming together. You start with the deep driving bass of the surdo. That's what lays down the foundation. Then, you layer in the sharp, bright strikes of the tambourine and the rhythmic jingle of the pandero. Add in the cuica, which has this totally unique, vocal-like squeak, and then you top the whole shebang off with the melodic strumming of the cavaquinho. When you layer all these instruments together, they create this high-energy rhythm that feels absolutely impossible to resist. You just have to move.
Section 5. The Spirit of Carnival, the pinnacle of celebration. So how did these small, community-based gatherings transform into one of the world's largest cultural festivals?
Well, that global spectacle doesn't just happen overnight. It starts at the purest local level. Step 1, samba schools literally form straight out of specific neighborhoods. Step 2 involves months, and I mean months, of intense, dedicated preparation by musicians, dancers, and costume designers. Entire neighborhoods are pitching in. And then, Step 3 is the payoff. It culminates in these incredibly elaborate performances. But they aren't just putting on a pretty show. They're showcasing their immense creativity, their deep neighborhood pride, and an unbreakable sense of unity.
But honestly, as massive as Carnival is, samba is way more than just a festive soundtrack. These songs are actually deep narratives that reflect the realities of everyday life. They sing about struggle and inequality, just as much as they sing about romance and hope. They are literal anthems of perseverance that constantly celebrate the beauty of community and culture.
Ultimately, there's one thought that really captures the essence of everything we've talked about today. Listen to this. Samba demonstrates how music can transform hardship into joy and pain into art. That is the absolute core of this rhythm. It takes the heaviest parts of human history and everyday struggle, and almost like magic, turns them into something incredibly beautiful and full of life.
Section 6. A Global Legacy. Timeless Humanity. So, the crucial point is,
Samba didn't just stand Brazil. It spread like wildfire, profoundly influencing jazz, bossa nova, world music, and global dance culture. You can hear its rhythms everywhere now, from the neighborhoods of Bahia to the grand avenues of Rio and out to the entire world. Samba's timeless humanity preserves history while bringing profound joy to future generations. It's this constant reminder of the importance of being together. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. What are the rhythms and sounds that unite humanity today? Samba proves that every drum beat can tell a story, and every dance step can preserve a memory. It really makes you wonder what other sounds out there are weaving our emotions, our identities, and our shared history together.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the resilient and joyous story of Samba. Subscribe to Sphereblend to explore musical traditions, customs, and stories.